Just some food for thought. Thinking about what everyone is saying. Could Puff Diddy actually be a serial killer? Because when you think about it, going back to 1993, when Bad Boy Records started, if you think about all the R&B artists and the hip hop artists that have just died of drug overdoses when they were in the height of their career, it's just unbelievable. I mean, you can't call all of them, oh, this is a tragic event or a coincidence, or because when you really think about it, the list is huge. The list is huge. Will we ever find out the truth behind this? Probably not. But when you think about it, going back, I remember there was the death of Tupac, Aaliyah, the lovely young girl that was just starting out. Then you had Biggs, you know, who was Puff Diddy's supposedly best friend. You had Brittany Murphy. You had the suspicious circumstances with Michael Jackson. You had Whitney Houston as well. Remember, Clive Davis was behind, the record producer was behind Whitney Houston, but they all had the same deaths. If you think about it, there were marks found on Whitney's tummy, and you could see there was a fight, and the suspicion was she didn't die in the bathtub, like everybody was told. Then you had Bobby Christina, Heavy D, Kim Porter, must buy her book, I need to read that, Erica Kennedy, DMX, and more. You know, it's painkillers. All the time they're suspected to be taking painkillers. All of a sudden it's not. It's fentanyl that they've died of, but they're, you know, it's like Prince. You know, he had to have his operations done. He wanted those operations done on his hips for a good 10 years, but he was advised not to. Why? Why was he advised not to? So he had to take painkillers daily for the pain in his hips. But when he died tragically in the elevator, the autopsy showed that he'd overdosed on fentanyl. Prince wasn't into alcohol or drugs, a very intelligent man, but he wasn't into drugs. Whitney Houston, we know, was. But again, you know, the suspicion was that, you know, someone came into her room and injected her with this overdose. But all these deaths, you know, and when you think about it, why would, and then the shootings, they were killed by being shot. All of them were connected to P. Diddy, all of them, and Clive Davis, the two of them. As soon as they got to the height of their career, it's like they were only allowed to go so far. And whether they would release the catalogues to Pippi or Clive Davis, you know, always at the same time. And when we go back even further, the mysterious death of Marilyn Monroe, you know, would she have taken the overdose? You know, it just goes on and on. It just goes on and on. I don't think we'll ever find out at all. You know, but it's to find Prince dead in an elevator, you know, and when they did the autopsy to find that his body was, you know, full of fentanyl when he didn't even take drugs in the first place, well, it begs to question, doesn't it? You know, and it's crazy. Well, at the moment, let's see, the next bail hearing is when? Between November the 5th and November the 10th. Some say that Puff Diddy needs to be released on bail because he deserves a fair trial to defend himself. Waste of time anyway, because he will definitely go to prison for what he's done. I mean, statutory rape alone, they say that there's videos, you know, of him having sex with underage. Now, even if it was a 16-year-old and he consented, it'd still be statutory rape, so he'll go to prison. Just for one rape, and that will be 15 to life. But however, let's see what happens between November the 5th and November the 10th. Of course, he'd like to get out because right now he's sitting in that little cell, and then he would love to go back to one of his houses, right? And spend the rest of his time there preparing for his case, which I think his defence lawyers are going to drag out. They say the trial will probably begin in May 2025. I highly doubt that. Why? Because if I was a defence lawyer for P. Diddy, first of all, I'd want to, with all the money that P. Diddy has, I would want to extend this case as long as I could, knowing in the back of my mind he's going to prison anyway, to make as much money as possible. That would be my first thing, I would think. Second thing is how, look, the thing is, if he stays in prison, how are his 4 lawyers, one of them being a lawyer for death row prisoners, I don't know why would that mean, anyway, the 4 lawyers would find it difficult to go to the prison in New York every single day and sit with P. Diddy and go through every single piece of evidence, because the suspicion is they found a lot of videotapes, and to sit there and go through all of them one by one, we're talking a long time. Plus they would like the names of the 120 civil suits, the witnesses that are coming forward, even just to go through one, it's going to take a long time. I think this case won't start for at least another 2 to 3 years. So if that's so, P. Diddy then will be at home, eating well, sleeping well in his house. Obviously the bail conditions are going to be huge. He won't be allowed to leave his house and probably not receive any visitors and so forth. And he'll practically live with his 4 lawyers much of the time. But hey ho, P. Diddy will get to have another 3 to 4 years, I think, in comfort in his house, in luxury. And I personally think he's going to get out, because I think it would be highly unfair to his defence lawyers. The prosecution will come in and show the judge between November the 5th and 10th, all the new evidence and good evidence they've found. So please, we recommend that you keep P. Diddy inside prison for the rest of his time until the court hearing starts. But he'll stay in prison for 2 to 3 years on remand while his lawyers just go there daily. What would you want? What would you want to happen? I mean, everybody is deserving of a fair defence. But thinking back, when we refer to satanic worshipping and ceremonies, it's like beyond us normal people. We don't think about things like that. So we tend to investigate what he was investigating, and I've had a look, at real Satanists and what they do, and it's a very dark world, a very, very dark world. I quickly withdrew from investigating more because I didn't like what I was hearing and I didn't like what I was seeing. But it's a very, very dark area, and they say if you pray to the devil, your wishes will be granted much sooner. Well, but look where he's ended up now. So you pay a massive price for the rapid entry of all the wishes that you've wished for. Bear that in mind if anybody's thinking of switching from, religion to Satanism, but think about that. And yeah, like I said last time, look where he sits now. He's in a little cell, like those little children were waiting to be ushered up to Diddy's house during the celebrity freak-off parties to be raped and sodomized and drugged. So karma is there, and what goes around comes around. Now he sits in that cell. But at the end of the day, come November the 5th, the 10th, let's see what the judge decides to do, whether to grant P. Diddy bail or not. I'm sure a lot of people will be furious if he's granted bail. And some would say, well, every man is deserving of a defence, But when you think back, and if you look back on all the, the rap artists that have been in Diddy's life since 1993, most of them are dead. And they did sign up with Bad Boy Records. Where are they? Dead. Either shot or drugged. But anyway, just thought I'd have this rant this morning. Yeah, so I'll definitely see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.